Hey, what's up, boys and girls? Bob here. Welcome back to another relatively in-depth guide for Dragonball FighterZ. Yes, I know, this is a big boy. I have only written the script so far. I haven't really plotted how this is going to record so far, but I already know from a glance, from how many notes I've written, this is going to take a while. So, if you're watching this video and you're concerned that, why is this potentially like upwards of an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours, I'm going to be real here. Well, it's because fighting games, as it turns out, isn't so easy as you can just press one button and get away with it for a whole game. Because if that was the case, I would be like, hey, use 2M. Good night, folks.
A warm thank you to the many members of Akhlalu Merchants Guild.
Nope, unfortunately, it's not quite that simple. Gogeta is a character of many intricacies, and we need to cover them all moderately in depth. So, we're going to be here a little bit. Now, I wanted to mention something. First of all, yes, I recently started playing on PC. If you catch me on Twitch, my ranks are reset. I don't have as much time put into Gogeta as I do, like, maybe even my Cell right now, or hell, definitely not Goku Blue. But I used Gogeta back when he first came out, alongside Broly. Not alongside him, like before he came out. And I used him on the same team for a few months, and I think I have enough knowledge with him, between back then and with, like, the month of dropped him, just now, that I think I could write something decently well, and I can give you guys a good jumping off point for picking up these days. Because let me tell you, post season 3.5, he is a wildly different beast, let me tell you that. Also, yes, Merry Christmas, guys. This is my Christmas gift to you guys. I know it's a little late because I forgot to make this in advance. Whatever, it's cool. So, let's just go ahead and take this step by step. All the time codes will be in the description down below if you want to jump to a specific section, because let me tell you, everything is going to be very in-depth and very well covered. I intend for that to be the case. You watch this cover to cover, you're going to know how to use Gogeta. Trust me, I intend for that to be the case. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this bitch. By the way, yes, also link down below. Let me go ahead and show this so you can actually get an advance. Boom! I have an entire Gogeta guide already written up. It'll pretty much be my bullet points. If you want to read it, I will actually include it in the description down below. So, you have something to reference. Alright, let's go ahead and start. Okay, so going over I was gonna say Broly and I was gonna say Vegeta. No, Gogeta's general pros and cons. I want to say first and foremost that people are going back and forth on whether he is top tier or bottom tier again, because recently Wawa was doing really well with him in international tournaments, or online tournaments namely. With this and there's also been I think it was with the team of Kefla and someone else. I might be getting him confused with Nitro, but people are speculating that he's actually a sleeper top tier. There's people who are saying he's still like bottom 5. I'm going to be the contrarian here, who thinks that he has his strengths, but also is still pretty I'm going to say he's not anything above an A tier, but if he were to be competing, I think the best he'd be competing against would be like Cell. Because Cell is universally good in this game, but I don't think Gogeta is better than him, like, at this point. Gogeta with 2 assists behind him is definitely A tier. Gogeta with no assists behind him is like probably worse than Android 18. Gonna be completely honest. That's just me. Having dropped a decent amount of time into this character with labbing and everything, I think I can confidently say that. So now we can just go ahead and cover why that is. So pros and cons. Now the first pro, and I think you can kind of just get the sense from like just sounds like coming in. There we go. And I think you can just kind of get this like from a general point of view. His neutral is insanely good. You want to why? 2M, 5H, 5S, jump 2S, which is pretty decently angled Gallic gun. We'll cover that more later. 236S and all of its variants, because you can use it as a neutral tool. Don't forget that is in fact a beam with an instant teleport in. And the super bullshit of 5S and the Cortical Forward Heavy. Pretty much you don't even need the Vanish anymore. You can just do this and get yourself a free combo. Yeah, that's not too bad. Actually, if I want to, I can also Vanish this for a little bit more bar. That was a little optimal. I should probably have done it after the jumping heavy, but you know what I mean. Neutral, it's pretty good. He's got really good combo structure, and what I mean by that is He's got good hit confirms, he's got good kick damage, he's got good wall carry, he's got good wall options, several supers. Like, this character is in no way really wanting for combo options. For example, level 1 on the ground, level 1 on the ground, level 1 in the air, level 1 in the air, and level 3 on the ground, and he also has level 5 options. So, decent structure. When I say he has good hit confirms, I mean more or less everything he does can be chained back into like his bread and butter combo, which is, you know, jump light into this. Or if he wanted to, like, the all combo does do a pretty good job at going into the soul strike in the air. So decent stuff all around. We'll cover more about that as we go forward. He's got really good mix-up tools. That might seem a little bit weird, but he, with an assist behind him, he might have some of the most ambiguous, weirdly unorthodox mix-ups in the entire game. What I mean by that is this shit into assist. He's got, you know, this shit into assist. I'm not timing it properly right now, obviously. Triple overhead with jump medium. Yeah, that's he's got some good options. We'll cover that more in depth later. All these bullet points will be elaborated obviously later on, like in key moves, but you know, just as a general standpoint. Now thanks to season 3.5, he can actually stagger a little bit. Basically, that means that his frame data is good enough now that he can now kind of low risk chain multiple lights together. For example, standing light is now -3. 2L from a range is like -2. That's not recommended to use for stagger pressure, but it is there, which is pretty cool. So that means he can kind of just chain this into himself, and he does have this option now available to him, so that's really good. Now, it's going to seem really weird, but he does have a really good defense in general. For example, he's on the ground, he's got a DP. On the air, he's got a DP. If he's in the corner, he has a 5H to escape the corner decently well. It's got a little bit of end lag, but I mean, that's not too bad. I mean, some characters would really like to have even an escape option. He's got 236H, yeah, in order to escape the corner if he wants to. Still untested, but you can use this, and it does cover a lot of horizontal range, so that's pretty good. And he's also got the insanely good reach of 2M and 5H for whiff punish options slash reflect options. If that was a bad button. So if you reflect something, you go right into this, right into this. If you do something small, you can go into this, I guess. And if you want to go for this, if you want to, or just be safe and do you know, this, because you can do this on block. It's fun. And the last major good pro of him, so I'll argue if this is even a good thing, but he's got a really low barrier of execution, or at least for like the beginner level stuff. For example, this staple combo with him, and if you look at my command history, I'm literally just pressing the light button. That's all I'm doing. Crouch light, setting light, setting light. I didn't do that too badly. Let's do the other one. 2M, 5M, jump light, jump light, jump light, jump light, jump light, Corsical 4 light. Yeah, a lot of his, hell, even some of the combos I'm looking at from like Clayton for like the more advanced stuff, like doing shit in the corner, it doesn't seem exorbitantly hard. Granted, I have not tested this myself, but from what I've seen so far with like the hotter combos, like with using delays with Corsical 4 medium in the air, it doesn't look that bad. But yeah, he's also got like just, you know, to go with the easy barrier of execution. He's also got easy neutral. Doesn't really have any execution anywhere that's like necessary for him. Like, you know, he's obviously not packing. Am I level 1? No, not level 1. Let me do this. Obviously, he doesn't have this. If I could do it the first time and while talking, I can't do it right now while talking. Okay, I'll do that later. But you know, details. And of course, to go with all this, because Gogeta is far from perfect character, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. No amount of clickbait from Lord Knight should convince you otherwise. He's got a good amount of cons. Trust me, he does. For example, these aren't like crippling cons, I would say. These aren't like making him Videl bad with, you know, not having a reflect, but they're definitely going to hold you back if you're not prepared. So, he's got blind spots as neutral. That might sound really weird, but essentially he's got no upwards angle beams. Like, you know, he's not Goku with having upwards Kamehameha. He's not even Cell in that regard, actually. He's not GT Goku, so it's not amazing. He's got to have some blind spots at his neutral, obviously, otherwise it'd be kind of dumb. Jump 2S is also kind of like a very steep angle. Like, this is very much like Goku's regular downwards Kamehameha. It's not the same aggressive angle that like Cell's Kamehameha has, so it doesn't cover like the full screen. This is more like a deterrence, like I know this is gonna whiff punish something kind of beam. But yeah, that's unfortunate. He's also got a dive kick to cover this part of the screen. But like from here, I can't. If I'm at this part of the screen, I can't really threaten Broly whatsoever. If I wanted to threaten him directly from full screen, there's like really this. But that's kind of committal and not really. That's more read based. It's not covering multiple options at the same time. So, you know, whatever. Another thing is that his 2H is kind of awful, as it's got absolutely no horizontal reach whatsoever. You want to see this 2H? Whoop, going way up. It's very Vegito-esque, except it doesn't even go like. It doesn't have like a flat upwards hitbox like Vegito's does. It goes like forward at a really weird angle. I mean, granted, if you have them block this and you. That was a bad button. If you do this, you can set up a high-low mix-up, but for the purposes of it being, you know, exactly what you want it to be, not amazing. You're gonna have stuff with a lot with this character. I've already had several instances with where I try to go block 2H Super Dash, where it's like literally at the top of the screen coming downwards, and it's like, oh nope. Super Dash was a little off to the side, your 2H whiffed, and now you're going to die. Oopsie. Another thing is that he's very assist dependent. This might seem a little bit weird because, like, if you have all these mix-ups, why would you say that he very much needs an assist? Well, it has partly to do with these mix-up tools. If you want to, God, this is hard. If you want to go for like the tricky high-low mix-up of this move, you really need a lockdown assist behind you. God, I cannot get the air dash out. Like, it's very close to the ground, at least as far as I know. This especially, there's so many ways you can beat this out if your opponent is looking for it. Especially this one, holy crap. Yeah, Gogeta in a nutshell really wants a assist behind him. Especially since his frame data outside of like setting 5L is kind of bad still. He really wants one. This is a small thing, but it's something you want to note regardless. He doesn't have anything that's plus on block really, as in he's got no real frame traps. He does because you can still delay like 5L into 2M to catch him like jumping out of the block string, but he doesn't have anything like really plus on block, so he doesn't have anything that can steal the turn back. Like obviously this is -5. This is unblockable but super slow. The heavy version isn't even plus on block either. It's all -5. Literally every version of the end of Soul Strike is -5. It's the funniest thing ever. But they also have the same pushback too. I don't understand it, but okay. And one thing at a time with this character, I suppose. This might seem weird, but he's a very committal character. What I mean by that is if something whiffs, it's whiffing hard. Like, it takes a while for him to recover out of a lot of stuff. Like, for example, 5H, if it whiffs, it takes a while for me to even, like, start crouch blocking. So that's a bit rough. I'll go to cover this later, but the beams, if you don't vanish them, it can be a little bit rough. Granted, like, you can still vanish at any point of the 5S, but if you don't, you're going to be sitting there for a little bit, so it's kind of rough. He's got very big buttons, and that brings with it very big problems sometimes. It's not a hugely screwy situation, but it can still kind of suck. Oh, right, I should mention this too. Because of the fact that he doesn't have, as you saw earlier probably, he doesn't have a jumping heavy that launches the opponent downwards, like, you know, a regular character. Why did that drop? What the fuck? Huh, okay. Okay, well, let's just go with that then. Trunks and his fucking T-Rex arms, I swear to God. Anyway. But, yeah, he doesn't have anything that really does this outside of, like, his dive kick. So, for this reason, he doesn't really play well with assists that want to do, like, pop-ups in the middle of combos for easy combo extensions. Like, he doesn't This extends to like DP assists. He can't really use them in the middle, like in open field, if he wants to get a like re-jump combo. So it's a bit rough. The best he can possibly do is like maybe he can time it well with some certain assists. Maybe he can get something to work off of that, but no, not for the most part. No, he's very much Vegito, where a lot of his combo time is going to be spent in the air, and really only in the air. So it sucks, but it's whatever. And last up, and this is a weird thing I took note of, his meter build isn't as great as what you'd want to be burning with them. So that means that as a battery himself, he's okay. But considering that this character thrives off of like full screen shit like this is already half a bar for a full screen combo, which, you know, full screen combo, great. But the fact that you have a level 5 super, on top of the fact that you can advantage out of literally any point of this move, the really good EX DP he has, he really ends up being like way more hungry for a meter than you would think a character like him would be. Like, the best possible combo I can do for building meter is like this. So all of that, with an assist behind me and in the corner and doing the easy optimal combo in the corner with Gogeta, I only built like just less of the bar and 3/4 of meter, which is still good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still good, but for the amount of like options he has, like, oh yeah, also he also has the level 2 option he has as well if he wants to burn even more bar. Yeah, that's something, I guess. But yeah, with the basic bar combo, you're not really easily cracking, like, yeah, only just over a bar for that. Considering that's his only real option for mid-screen combos, if you don't burn meter, not great. But yeah, that's essentially the it for his pros and cons. Don't get me wrong, even though the cons might be, I think, one entry more than his pros are still really good. But that being said, Gogeta is still a very balanced, like, give and take sort of character. You put work into him, and he's gonna get you work out, but you have to be smart about how you use him. Alright, time for core moves, aka key moves, aka the moves you're probably going to be wanting to think about with him at any given point in time. You know, I also, I was going to mention this in the preamble for this little shit, but I also realized that with the hype that was generated for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, that there's probably going to be a lot of people also picking up Blue Gogeta, so figure this will help a lot of people get off the ground if they do want to try out the Blue Boy, because he's good now. Well, I mean, he's kind of been good already, but he's more usable now than he was before, and people will have a good jumping on point now especially, so, you know, good stuff. Okay, so as I teased in the intro, obviously I'm going to say that probably the best move is probably 2M. This move got insanely good with season 3.5. It had its hitbox extended, but to give a general synopsis, it's nearly full screen, low medium, low profile, so many attacks. Like, look at Gogeta, like, even fairly early on in the attack, he's already hugging the floor. Like, this will pretty much be, there'll be a lot of options that your opponent tries to do as super dash at you. It'll slide underneath them, and then you can hit them with like a full unskilled combo. Yeah, it's pretty solid. It's also just as amazing with Reflect Punch as well. Let me try to get Broly to do something stupid here. Yep, there it is. He said to guard all, except for one he does 5 heavy, or 5 heavy, oops, 5H. And, oh hey, look at that, I'm taking him to Common Town now. Oops, yeah, that whipped. But yeah, you get my point. That being said though, this move does still have some baggage with it, because even though it has hitbox hella extended, like it goes really far now, it still has some unfortunate issues. One of them being is that it doesn't go quite as far as you think. Like, you think, yeah, it hits from there, but like from around here, I don't think it'll hit. Just barely whiffs, barely whiffs. I think from here it'll whiff. Yep, that just barely whiffs from right there. it doesn't go quite as far as you'd expect, despite the fact that he is clearly like gonna missile dropkick you. No, just cuts a little bit short. So, that's a bit rough. It's also really bad if you don't block him from this move. Like, 2-1 by itself, despite the really good range, it's got some pretty bad frame data. Do up close, minus 13. If you do it from the farthest away possible, I've gotten this down to like minus 6. But that's the lowest I've ever gotten. I can't get this to minus 5 no matter what range I do this at. So if you approach from this, if you approach with this, then and you don't block it from it, then you'll only eat like a jab scaled combo, which still isn't amazing, but hey, it's something, I guess. Then I guess it's also assuming your opponent knows that this is in fact unsafe, so you know. Gogeta still isn't prominently used online, so you might get away with some stuff, maybe. As well as the fact that no one except like the top 5% of players really study frame data, so you might be okay. One really cheesy strategy to actually do like a lot, and I should really use this more in my game plan. Vanish, backdash into 2M. I just gotta, like backdash 2M. The backdash by itself will already like put you out of range of like jabs if your opponent tries to do anything, as well as the fact that it can, you know, escape or flex if anything, and just go immediately to 2M. Confirm into this, and oh hey, look, you're already in block shrinking city. Go figure. So you know that's a decent strat. As well as the fact that if your opponent does try to jab interrupt this, there's a very good chance that the move by itself will actually low profile stuff. That was not the right move. And as you can see, case point. That was too far away from the corner, but that would have almost worked. Right, so the next key move of his is definitely going to be 5S. That's for damn sure. This move was the very first move of the game to be a true beam on a regular normal move. I say that Trunks does have something similar with 5S, but the trick is 5S does not beat Super Dash. It's also not considered a true beam, so it won't clash with other beams. So you really gotta keep that in mind. Well, actually no, yeah, Gogeta did come out before Super Broly, so he was the first character to have a beam tethered to one of his moves. Well, I'm not sure about Goku Black's special. I think that does lose to Super Dash. I'm not sure, but roughly speaking, I think you know what I'm trying to convey here. But the move itself is really, really good. This move has so many good properties about it, actually. The fact that it's a beam tied to a normal attack is already pretty fucking amazing by itself, but it comes with a lot more caveats. The fact that it's a normal move means you can literally vanish at any given point. So you can just, you can jail in, so that means that if your opponent blocks this, they can't reflect the vanish afterwards, so that's really nice. Whereas like some other moves, like let's say that doesn't jail. This jails like completely, so that's really good. Yeah, that's a really strong strategy. The fact that you can do this at a given point means it's super low commitment. So like if you whiff this, you can just immediately it doesn't have to be blocked. One thing about beams is that normally when they whiff, you can't vanish it or to keep yourself safe. So like for example, I'm gonna do like the multiplex this version. Yeah, I'm hammering vanish, doesn't work. 5S, nah, doesn't matter. It's really good. And remember, this is an option that's very low commit that beats super dashes, beats key blasts, beats normal buttons, beats more or less a lot of stuff in the game because you know the regular beam by itself. So good stuff. And of course, I mentioned that I showed this earlier. The fact that Core Circle Forward Heavy was supremely buffed. I don't know why it's got this much love, but the fact that you can do this now is goddamn dumb. I don't think. Let me make sure I don't eat shit for this, but I'm pretty goddamn sure this is not. Nope. Okay, it does jail. Hey, you want a fuck neutral option? This. Reminder that the opponent is still stuck, set to reflect at any given point when there's one frame of advantage. There's no frame advantage here at all to do so. Yeah. I thought I held that. No, never mind. But you know, good stuff. But yeah, also the fact that this is a normal attack means that this can be canceled into anything if it, any special moves if it gets blocked because you know this property. The fact that it's a normal move. So that's really good. And to block this, you can go into multiplex if you want to make a free approach meterlessly. So that's really cool. I'll talk about more about multiplex in a minute, but essentially you can do this. And oh hey, look, bada bing bada boom, you are in on your opponent. Awesome. And oh hey, speaking of multiplex after image, yeah, we're about to talk about this move. So this move is extremely dumb. I'll talk about more about this move in depth when we get to mix-ups, but for the most part, the move's really good. Super unique mix-up tool. Allows beams to pop up in literally 3 different places. Ground, air, or above at an angle. So you already have a pretty good amount of options, as well as the fact that it's a free teleport on block. The teleport is -5, by the way. It's completely safe. Your opponent cannot 2H this. I've already tested this multiple times, but they cannot 2H this. So that's really neat that it just gels like that completely. So really cool. And of course, yeah, you can just call an assist to get in on your opponent. So that's really nice, really good. That said, the timing for this is a little finicky. Like you rip it, you want to if you're using like a close-in lockdown assist like Gohan, you want to input the assist button like after you teleport when you're on top of your opponents. That way, you lock him down, and you're able to maintain pressure. That's really good. If it's like a beam, you can kind of just do it whenever. But yeah, that does leave the risk of being having a gap though. But it's whatever. And of course, this is also super fucking dumb mix-up option. You can go high, free cross up, go for instant air dash overheads. That was not the move. Stay in place to bait reflex or to create mental mind games. You have things to work with, trust me. Okay, so getting back to non-extremely gimmicky things. I say gimmicky, but like legitimately this move is kind of terrifying if you have a lockdown assist. Anyway, jump medium. This might seem really weird, but this move does have some beef to it. It's not as good as Gotenks' like jump light, but it's still pretty solid in its own regard. Triple hitting overhead, solid angle, as in like this comes out like at nearly a perfect 45-degree angle downwards in front of him. So that's pretty good for just maintaining an aerial approach, so that's not too bad. There's no real blind spots. Triple hitting overhead. All 3 of these moves are overheads. Keep that in mind. So your opponent has to be diligent trying to block this coming in, so that's really nice. The fact that there's triple hitboxes means you get some weird scenarios. To put that into perspective, actually, it's really nice I did set Broly to my opponent for this one. Because that means that Broly's heavy, as you probably know, it's got like 1 hit of super armor attached to it. I'm pretty sure armor do it, right? No? I don't know. I'm not sure how that works, but I do know his stand heavy does have 1 hit of armor. This will go through it. I think Z Broly's moves have 1 hit of armor, like on his standing medium, standing heavy, stuff like that. I think it's only the medium layer express that has like full armor. So yeah, this will beat some armor options. That's really really nice for trying to deal with them. It's not a way to flat out counter them, but it's a nice sort of counterplay option, I guess, if you're worried as shitless, which I don't blame you because Z Broly is terrifying. Now, the only thing that sucks about this move is that since it is a triple overhead, you think, oh, well, I can just delay his like Gotenks' jump light in order to get multiple variations and force mix-ups. It's not really that good. It's unfortunately, since this is a medium and with the timing of everything, it's very hard to adjust your timing for getting different speeds out. Like I can sometimes get 1 to come out, maybe 2. I can't. It's very hard to get 2 out. Sometimes 1. Usually just 3 is the easiest one, and you want to just stick with it. Yeah, it's very difficult to do that. So, all right, next key move, 5 out. Holy shit, this move is so much better these days. As I already explained earlier, it was buffed heavily with season 3.5, so now it's only -3. I remember what this was before, but I think this might have been like -6 or higher when Gogeta first came out. Gogeta was a rocket character when he first came out. He had like moves that were as bad on block as like Trunks, and Trunks is some pretty bad frame data. Like if I could give an example, like 2M is like -10, stand medium is -9, stand heavy is -17. Yeah, even low 2, even his 2L is like -5. Jab is -5 as well. You can't stagger with Trunks whatsoever is kind of the moral of that story. With Gogeta, you can get away with it now. You can kind of Gatling, that term's not Gatling. What the hell is the term for this? Like chaining multiple 2Ls into each other if you want to create, like, steal your turns back. Maybe it's not a terrible option. I'm messing my timing up on this. There we go. No? There we go. This is only really good if your opponent's like really on tilt. Nothing is like Gohan's low, not low too well, damn it. His too well, where it's just -0, or his 3L, which is like only -2, so that's really good. He doesn't have anything in that ballpark, but you can still play with this. Now, a really weird thing this move does also bring is the fact that it beats Super Dash pretty consistently. I don't know why, but for some reason, like this move is just really good at being Super Dash. It's like, hang on. Yeah, like that was above me, so it didn't quite go out. But like, if the opponent is in front of you, for some reason this move is just really good at being Super Dash. Like, I'm kind of not even trying to time this, but like, boom, 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 boom. That was a counter hit too late. I think it might have to do with the fact that this is a light move with just multiple hitboxes attached to it. That might be the reason why, but I am not sure. Unfortunately, the problem with this move is, however, is that, say like you do get this Super Dash confirmed. I just want to go for like the auto combo punch. Like that time it works. That's really good. However, it's really inconsistent. If the opponent is hit by a Super Dash and they're like up at more than a 45-degree angle in front of you, because of the fact that it's light and it's super fucking fast, like you need to do this. You need to manually time fucking standing medium, which if you're online or you're not expecting this to happen, you're not getting this to land. It's fucking insanely hard. So yeah, no, that's eh. But it is a good option. It does have that good trait. So if you can utilize it in your toolkit, then go for it, but I wouldn't recommend it for the most part. Okay, and someone's gonna castrate me for including this in the key move section, but his DPs. Specifically the medium version and the heavy version, not the light version. We'll talk about that later, but the medium version and the heavy version. So they're DPs, but they have a slight twist in them. Medium version grants a wall bounce off of a combo, and heavy version is frame 1 and side switches. It's always done that. It's not like Vegeta where it's something like could side switch. The move by itself has always innately side switched, like for example. That does that. Medium version, as you see me do before, it does have this really neat knockaway move. And if you're close enough to the wall, it does cause a wall splat. So wall bounce. Sorry, Tekken terminology. I'm an old man. It does have that, so that's really nice. All these are arrow K, so that's really good. The only thing different is that the heavy version is still the medium version, but it side switches as well. So that's really good. If your opponent super dashes at you in a corner, let me actually set him to do it in this situation, because that would be nice. So that will catch him in a combo in the corner. Let me show it again. It's not, I think this move is frame 4 invincible. I'm not certain of the frame data for his medium version offhand. Because it's arrow K, I would recommend it's more for like doing it in midair after like something connects. Like for example, you use Trunks here. Obviously, I would say it's way better for this. So that way you can also go into full combo. Remember, since this is a DP starter though, all that life that's lost is blue health. Let me actually make sure that I can showcase that. Yeah, all that life is blue health. So that means that your opponent can just tag out to their ally and just recover it all. Like, I think if you and I do it, like, I can... Yeah, he's going to start recovering down the sideline. Not really optimal, but if you tag him back in, you know, he loses it all. So, you know, that's nice, I guess. Now, the fact that Gogeta's... what is it? Heavy DP is also a frame 1 move and side switches. This means that if he himself is trapped in the corner, don't even really have to worry about that too much. I completely botched that timing. Oopsie. Let me try it again. That might not be fully optimal. I kind of just inferred that you could probably do it because standing medium has such a huge horizontal hitbox. I'm like, yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. Why not? Now, the big thing that does make me want to consider having these in its core move sections though is the fact that both these moves give you essentially meterless combo extensions. that's really rare, if not like unseen for DPs, because you know, obviously Gohan's not getting a fucking DP off of the combo off of this. Not getting off a medium version either. Not even like if he was Ascended Gohan. Not getting it unless he like, I don't know, uses like assist or something. I just made it up. I didn't even think you could do that. But yeah, that's rough compared to Gogeta, who, you know, oh, you know, whatever. Combo. Okay. Okay, so as I mentioned before, I think neutral, honestly, besides the fact that Gogeta gets really fucking easy TODs, I think his strongest suit is his neutral. Neutral because, obviously, this stupid bullshit I mentioned before, if you just want whatever, the beams, the mini beams he has, the really big buns he has, the really good anti-super dash options he has, honestly, I don't think he's as brain dead into neutral as like Ultra Instinct Goku currently is, because it's hard to top him, especially right now in the current mana. But honestly, Gogeta's neutral is still really good. Like, he is miles better than even Cell, which is one of the reasons I'm actually switching away from Cell a little bit to Gogeta, because on top of the fact that he gives Gohan a really easy DHC combo, he just has much better neutral in general. And I feel like I play better neutral than like, I don't know, Stagger Pressure, but that's just me. Anyway, neutral options. Yeah, he's kind of got a bevy of it. I'm going to keep him on guard, so that way you won't have to worry about continuously hitting the opponent, so it's not a big deal. Alright, let's go ahead and start this. So, obviously, this stupid bullshit is really good. The only possible thing that's wrong with it is the fact that, you know, there's no aerial beam, so he can't... Oh no, God forbid, you're not Master Roshi, so you don't have an unblockable air move. Oh no. But that's a small thing, it's whatever. This move is stupid fucking fast. 20 frames, full screen, half bar, you're in. Once Season 3 hit and every single heavy move became half meter to use, I immediately knew that like Vegeta and Gogeta were gonna get some major use out of this, especially Cooler. Oh god, Cooler really needed it for his DP as well. 2 bars for a frame 1 reversal. Ew. Anyway, but yeah, no, this really helps Gogeta out a lot. I think the only thing is that since it's a heavy version, it might suffer from combo scaling, meter scaling. Yeah, you don't get a lot of return for it, but it's... Dude, have you seen this bullshit? It doesn't even matter, really. Come on. Alright, so 2M and 5H. Both these moves serve ostensibly the same purpose, where at face value they can serve as like a really good full screen, like way SR combos, you know, stuff like that. 5H, like, this is a... Look at this move. This move was like visually designed to be a fucking whiff punish move. You know what this is used for. It's like, that doesn't... You seen the show? This is a whiff punish. Like, come on. Like, really. That said, though, both of these do serve slightly different functions. Not to a large degree, but enough that you want to keep them in mind. So, for example, 2M has a bigger range and low profiles moves. Like, obviously, from about here, I think is tip range. Somewhere around, yeah, somewhere like around here. That actually might be a little bit more accurate, especially like... Let me set him to not do that reverse really fast. Okay. Just barely out of tip range, somewhere around here. Yeah, essentially full screen, like more or less. However, 5H is a little bit faster when it comes to time for it to come out. I mean, that might seem like... It might seem really trivial, but... Let's see, was it 19 frames at tip range, 18, 19... versus 5H at tip range is like 17 frames. And the fact that this move does have a higher hitbox, so it can catch your opponent if they are jumping. That might seem really weird, but this does serve a function versus 2M, which does go under stuff because of, you know, the low hitbox. So, you know, it does matter. Like, this has a pretty generous upward hitbox. Let me see if I can... Yeah, holy crap, I suctioned them out, like, almost full jump. Let me actually try full jump. Wow. I am literally timing that with the opponent being at the top of their arc. That one narrowly whipped. There we go. That fucking landed. Oh, man. This move is really good when it comes to that regard. Whereas 2M will catch jumpers, but not like someone full on their jump arc like this move. So, you know, different purposes. You want to keep that in mind. Other stuff when it comes to neutral, obviously, air DPs is really good. The thing about the light DP is that I think this is only head invulnerable, meaning that it's got 2H properties where it is invulnerable to like super dash. I think it's immune to super dash, right? I'm pretty goddamn sure that's the case. Let me have him try it really fast. Okay, yeah, that does beat super dash, which is fine. It's whatever. That does work, okay. Medium version is where it's at, though, because of the fact that, well, I've heard that the light version is easier to do touch deaths off of. I'm not sure what the reason for that being is, but if you want to go that route, you can. I just find like the medium version, if you're not using it as a strict reversal or like you're trying to bait out some stagger pressure, this might be better because, you know, Needle is combo off after it. Heavy version is definitely the one you want to use if you're like, if you want something really extremely fucking fast to escape the corner or something. You'll catch people off guard with this because Gogeta is one of the characters where you kind of forget they have a DP until you use it. Like, it's kind of the same thing with like Cooler. Cooler's more of a neutral built character, but you all of a sudden, oh, fuck me, he has a DP. I forgot that there. It will catch people. I've gotten good players off of this move. Like, it's that good. It's surprisingly like good. A thing to also note is that if you get snapped in and Gogeta is snapped in, you know, frame one, this is a good anti-snap option. It's not as important these days because we're past the old dark times of the snap meta, luckily. But if you did get snapped in, your opponent's trying to pressure you, you do have an air DP, so that's good. I think at that point you might just want to go with the light version though. I don't know, maybe if you want to do that. But if you're against a corner, let me actually illustrate this. This will side switch. It would probably be easier or better to showcase like this. Oops, a little too far away, but you know what I mean. Yeah. And obviously, if you catch the opponent in the front with it, the medium version will also cause a meterless combo as well. If the opponent knows the matchup, this is immediately going to put a huge amount of pressure on them. That's something you want to test your opponent for. If they know the matchup against Gogeta, they will probably respect you a little bit more when in the situation where they have their back to the wall, because if you guess right against them, you get a free mirrorless combo, as well as the fact that it's blue health, so your opponent wants to tag out or pop sparking to get all their life back. So that's a good, like, you know, mental game you can play with your opponent. Whereas if you are stuck with your ass to the wall, oh hey look, frame one move. That frame one invincible move that you can just use to escape the corner. Awesome. Oh, I guess I didn't mention this sooner actually. I should have mentioned this in the key move section. Oopsie. But yeah, the heavy move is especially bad on block. Most DPs in the game you usually see, like, you end up aerial to a certain capacity. So like there's a chance that you might whiff like a 2M punish or something like that. There is that chance. Like, let me actually get Broly to counterattack with his 2M really fast to see if this works. Yeah, almost whiffs. that actually beat the punish, funny enough. But yeah, a little, if his, actually, you know what, no, let's tag 17 in. That will definitely work against him. Never mind, that was a little too soon. Yeah, so obviously you can see that his 2M completely whips against me. Granted, that being said, I am still very negative. He can still catch me if he delays a little bit, but it's small things like that. Small things where if you end up aerial, it can be tricky to get an exact punish, especially offline. However, with Gogeta, minus 22 feet planted firmly on the ground. Oh man, that is easy to bait if I've ever seen it before. If you don't spark or advantage this, you're kind of fucked. And of course, this also feeds into a round robin system where you do this, and like if you somehow manage to guess that you're not going to do it or it's not going to work, you can spark to get them off of you. However, there's also an issue with this. If you're like, oh, I can just vanish the guy out of the way, it's not a huge deal. because that will reset you to neutral frames. There's an issue with that. 2H will punish like every option. Oops. Yeah, that's a raw punish. Yeah, that doesn't jail. Where something like this move jails and your opponent can't 2H it. This has more enough of a block stun gap where they can do it. So, rough. Anyway, sorry, back to the neutral section, I guess. I want to cover that stuff for the DPs because they're slightly important. But yeah, also, I guess just to cap that off. You play this guy, if your opponent's gonna super dash at you, oh hey, look, if my back's to the wall, I can easily get a combo, no big fucking deal. Or I could just do this and get like a miniature combo. What's the miniature combo again, actually? Let me double check this. I mean, I guess that works. I remember there is a meteorless combo you can get off of this. I'll have to consult my notes later or leave it down in the comments or something, but I remember you can get something off of this. We'll talk about that later, though. Obviously, I've already mentioned before the whole thing about Standing Light being able to easily beat out super dashes. It's not something you want to really rely on, but hey, if you do get it, you can convert into a combo, I guess. Standing Light would not be my immediate thought process for punishing super dash. It would probably be more something like this because way more reliable. That's just me. Anyway, another weird neutral option he does have is his dive kick. He actually has. I see this used way more for like mid-screen pressure combo ender for him personally speaking, but this is a fast return to ground option if he wants to use it. I'd probably back this more with like I don't know, a assist behind him or something. So like if you're jumping in the corner and your back is to the corner, I don't know, ideas, pop an assist, use this return to ground if you want to. Or like maybe if you escape corner using this, you can use this to return to ground, I guess, as an aggressive option. It's something. I'm just trying to toss these up because I try to remember the fact that you do have this move to escape to the ground really fast. I think this does actually beat super dash now I think about it. I know we're talking about almost exclusively about beating super dashes, but it is kind of important. Yeah, it does beat super dash. Okay, well that's a small thing. You do want to take notes of these things though, so you know, whatever. Yeah, obviously there's also the beams. This fucking beam. You toss out anywhere from the screen. Like obviously this can connect. This can pressure the opponent also. You can also just rain beams on the opponent, so that's also kind of fun, I guess. It's something. You can also use this just to alter positioning. If you just want to like, it's very gimmicky. I wouldn't recommend this personally. But hey, if you want to just like quickly get from the ground to the sky, it is there. And of course, also remember you can do this in the air. Is it optimal? I don't know if I would say it is, but it's something to play with, I guess. And also, there's also, you know, the mental frame data that you put on your opponent because of the fact that, oh, 3 Gogetas came out of nowhere. Are they going to do the beams or are they not? I have no idea. Also, the fact that they do flash, the charges for the Kamehameha wave, and you can choose to do them or not do them. You are not reacting to if they do or not do it. So, really nice. You do want to keep these factors in mind. Oh, by the way, this is a true overhead. I don't know if this is important for anyone, but hey, it is a thing, so you know, whatever, it's cool. This is a small thing. Jump 2S. I've already mentioned the Gala gun he has, which is coming out at a nice angle for him. There's a few tricks to this, however. Let's see if this actually does work. I don't look like a complete asshole. Okay, so let's say, for example, that your opponent wants to do 2M after you super dash at them and they block it. There's usually, you know, like a number of things that happen in this situation. I don't even know all of them. I'm still trying to study this shit because it's a really weird situation. But if this does happen, you can use 2S in order to you can use it as a way to bait 2M attempts. I'm not sure like what the risk reward of this move actually is. It is a true beam, so that is good. So it won't lose to a lot of stuff. 2H seems to lose against Super Broly, so that is something to keep in mind. It might work against Super 17. No, not quite. That would be fun. Yeah, 2Ls will work against him because his arms are kind of stumpy, whereas with Zero Bullet, I keep saying Zero Bullet, not quite. It's a giant hammer, so it will actually connect. However, if you want to punish this, no, I guess you can't really punish this at all. Okay, that's a very big 2H, to be fair, so yeah. Or you can delay, and I guess Soul Strike works. Why does that work? I've never contemplated this situation before at all, so I don't know. If you want to try it, why no not? But moral of the story is you can use jump 2S in order to bait some options. Like if they try to jab out of it, or if they try to do 2M. This will work in some situations, so, you know, keep that in mind. It's pretty good. As well as the fact that, you know, hey, it's downward facing beam. That's pretty good. Alright, so let's not talk about abstract concepts for a quick second. Let's get into something a little more flashy. 214S. I would not relegate this to a regular neutral option, but it is one. It is a neutral option because full screen command grab. Not like Goku Black's Zamasu command grab, which is very seeable. This move is a little hard to actually pick up on because of the fact that the only real tell is the fact that he shifts his arms towards the camera a little bit. That's not the biggest giveaway ever, so you can use that to your advantage. It's 32 frames for full screen, but up close, 25. 25 could be a little tricky to react to online. Tournament players will probably react to it in person, but if nerves are getting to them, this can potentially work. Maybe. My trick would probably be to places like earlier on in a block string, because when you get to this point of block string, like obviously, well, we'll talk about block strings later, I guess. But this move does have utility. No combo, but we'll discuss that thing later. But yeah, it's a good it's a full screen option. Might as well mention it neutral. It's okay. But I guess to quickly give a brief synopsis of it, it does not give you enough plus frames to actually combo off it. You are left at +5. Your options from there are to use it as a +5 frame trap, which is cool, because +5, your jab will beat literally everything. However, you can also vanish to get a combo off of it, if you so choose. I'm not sure if I'd regularly go for the vanish combo personally, because, you know, 3/10 of the opponent's health bar, it's okay, but it is a command grab combo with vanish thrown in, so it's kind of got heavy scaling already going for it, so, you know, it's your choice. Personally, I would just go for the plus frames and fuck with the opponent, but if you really want to cash out damage to win the round, you can go for the vanish combo. Why not? It doesn't hurt. Okay, so it is time for probably one of the reasons why you guys are all here. Mix-ups. Oh god, okay. So, to quickly paraphrase this before we get too deep into this. Below average mix-up potential solo. Pretty above average if he's got an assist behind him. That might sound incredibly broad, but he's pretty good at mixing the opponent up if he has specific assists behind him. But we'll go over that more as we go forward, specifically with the gimmicks he has. So, to quickly go over the basics of what he has going for him. He has a low 2L. The problem, however, is that it's kind of more like a medium, where it is fast-ish, but it's not chainable, meaning like it's not like Trunks where you can mash it out and get it to come out twice. No, this is a one-time low. And if you want to go for another low immediately, you have to go immediately into 2M. So that could potentially mess up some block strings. It's whatever. Be sure to just play with it. But you know, I didn't get into, you know, mixing these two up. So, you know, tricky. Anyway. But yeah, 2L is a non-chainable low. 2M is a low. Jump medium is 3 hit overhead. Level 3's Oki is not amazing. That's sad to say because it is kind of neat. Let me go ahead and get myself a bar for this. So the initial level 3 for Gogeta, keep in mind where we are currently. We're currently dead at the corner. So where does this leave us at the level 3? Well, the opponent is actually sucked out of the corner a little bit. There's a little bit of a gap here. So maybe this can result in some weird like left-right mix-ups, maybe. But the way I see it, there's too much pushback. It's not really worthwhile, so, you know, it's whatever. Plus, from this distance, like, you can go for instant air dash stuff, but I don't know, you'd probably need like a beam behind you in order to do this. This would be kind of taxing. And then the level 5 gives absolutely no fucking Oki whatsoever. Let's just go ahead and spend a few seconds in order to get this out. So for my money, probably one of the best looking level 5s in the game, holy crap. Now, note where we're at. We are completely full screen away from each other. Broly's back is completely against the wall. Gogeta is completely against the other wall. There's no Oki here whatsoever. I mean, granted, you know, it is level 5, so you're not gonna get the best Oki in the world. But I mean, like, dude, look at Team Gohan. I'm pretty sure he gets. Actually, you know what? Actually, I'm curious now. I'm very curious. Hang on a sec. And now it's satisfied my own morbid curiosity because I've never actually looked at this before. Does Team Gohan actually get... Team Gohan gets Oki off of his fucking level 5. That doesn't paint the best picture in the world, but it's whatever. It's whatever. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and quickly go over Gogeta's basic instant air dash block mix-ups. So these are essentially what he can do in most situations, whether it be level 3 post wake up, instant air dash overhead with the assist behind you. If you end up in one of the situations, you can use these, you know, so on, so on, so on. These are just your basic options. These are what I would say are probably his most basic and best options. Some fuzzy tech has been found with him. I would not rely on that too much personally because he's already got good stuff, but you know, details. Anyway, so first up, empty air dash, low 2L. Yep, I got that. Okay. Next up, single overhead, jump light. So you have one overhead and one low. Alter timing, so it's a little more tight, but you know details. It's an overhead air dash, light, and into 2L. A little more tight, pretty good. Is an overhead air dash, triple overhead jump medium into low 2L. So you know, 3 overheads into 1 low. That's all right. There's also cross up jump medium. Oh, he's a tall boy. Can't easily get this. Yeah, instant overhead air dash, jump medium, 5M, 2M, 5H. And in an actual combo, that will look something like this. There we go. If you don't select instant left right mix-ups like I do, then you should be able to do that pretty well, but you know, details. And now for your Dragon Rush options, you have... That's not it. Instant overhead air dash empty into Dragon Rush. Any option into Dragon Rush. Fucking... What was that option? Oh yeah. You can do like this into DR because, you know, remember, you can now do Dragon Rush off of your first jab. Remember, however, that Gogeta has 2 jabs attached to his 1 jab. You have any option into 214S for, you know, heavy big brain IQ mix-ups. And now let's talk about some weird situations you get off of this move in general, because, you know, +5. And you can end up at +5 again from literally anywhere on the screen. So this is very valuable. So if this happens, use 2L. Just use 2L. Okay, so if you don't vanish out of this, obviously you're still at +5, which is heavy frame advantage. If your opponent tries to backdash out of it, you'll beat that option. If your opponent tries to jab out of it, you'll obviously beat it, as well as the fact that 2L still has a really low hitbox, like really low hurtbox on Gogeta. He is full onto the fucking floor, so this will easily work against a lot of tall characters. Gotenks and GT Goku might not be so much worried, but this will still counter hit them regardless because 11 frames startup. Worst case scenario is that, okay, fastest jab in this game is 6 frames, right? You're at the +5 and your low 2L is 11 frames. This means that if you chop off the -5 from your 11 frames, this will come out at 6 frames for your opponent, and your opponent can only jab out at that mark. So worst case scenario, you trade with the opponent's jab, or they vanish out. They can vanish out of this. It's not impossible, but if they have the advantage out of the situation, they're probably losing. Let me go ahead and actually show that really fast. Pretty sure it's it. Yep. Did I just counter hit that? What the hell? Wait, how am I counter hit? Okay, theoretically, there should be enough of a window there where I can just jab and beat his Vanish. Because Vanish should be like frame 1, right? I thought Vanish was frame 1. Okay, well, I guess you can beat Vanish with this, so... I was going to say that if your opponent has to Vanish to escape this frame trap scenario, then they're probably losing and probably very tilted, so you're winning. So, there is that. Okay, so basic block string with him will essentially look like this. I think you can maybe squeeze in this. Yeah, so this is your basic block string. It is gapless. Your opponent cannot use reflect at any point during this block string. For proof for this fact, let's go ahead and have him try it. Yep, completely airtight. No gaps whatsoever. Yeah, it's good stuff. If you're not worried about them using reflect, you can do this. So like they reflect the one beam if they're godlike. But even then, the Soul Strike still comes in and covers your option, so they'd have to reflect multiple times for this to continue, but single reflect, no, it gets beaten, so, you know. As well as the fact that, you know... Oh, that's actually a fast reflect, never mind. I was gonna say, if they reflect that, then you could probably punish it, but nah, that's no dice. And of course, if at any point you're doing this and your opponent suddenly gets hit by one of these moves, if they try to jump out or they press a button or something. Let me try... Basically, at any point during this block string, if your opponent ends up suddenly getting hit by one of these moves, you can just finish the combo with this. And just go for the easy bread and butter scenario. Depending on if you're full screen or not, you can go for something more advanced, like at the corner. But if you're not, then you can just go for the easy ender. It's not a big deal. It still gets you good results. Okay, so the beef of Gogeta's real mix-ups, I mean, what I've shown so far is okay. It's relatively average, but it's not like groundbreaking or anything. The real beef of his mix-ups comes from 3 sources. 1 is all combo, 2 is core circle forward light medium, and 3 is core circle forward special. You already know about some of these, so let's cover the last of it really fast. But we'll talk about the other ones later too. So just to cover with the auto combo, this is a very gimmicky option that I would not normally recommend. But it is there. So basically what happens is that Gogeta's auto combo fully looks like this. First of all, this part is a complete overhead, but it can be 2H'd out of, so you want to be very careful about that. Yeah. Granted, that being said, if they are going to go for that, you can bait with that, so with 2M, so you know, keep them honest. But I don't think they'll normally try to read this option unless you use it more than once in a round, in which case it's possible. But this is not something I'd say is reactable, personally speaking, because like that. Yeah, honestly, the move by itself is kind of quick, so, you know, whatever. So now is where the interesting stuff comes in. If they don't 2H, like if you use Gohan's assist in order to keep him pinned down, you can start going for some tricky stuff. By the way, I have a hard time landing this, so just so you're aware. You are left in the airborne state after this lands if it's blocked. So you're not unsafe or anything. Far from it, in fact. You're only -5 according to the frame jazz. That's kind of neat. Now basically, if you're able to keep them locked down long enough, you're actually able to start enabling the high-low flowchart, like I said before. Like going for, you know, what are options. So that's cool. You can enable it off of this auto combo by itself. It's not like Trunk strong with the delays off of Change of the Future, but it is there. God, I am terrible at laying this. Holy crap! It's a very tight forward. It's not something you just you can mash out early, or what you want to mash out late. It requires a little bit of practice, but you know, it's there. Now this one is a little more vague. It is his core circle forward light medium. This was obviously talked about a lot about by players at Gogeta's launch because it does put him in a tiny float state above the opponent. So that's something. Personal note, this is extremely hard to fucking time, by the way. Like, the best timing I could possibly get it is literally just by using the shortcut air dash. Trying to do it forward, it's very fucking difficult, I find. So I would recommend using the shortcut input for doing the instant overhead air dash. Personally speaking, I keep saying instant overhead. No, just instant air dash. Duh. Now the trick thing about this is that the second hit, the medium version, basically Soul Strike. The light version does not have any gaps in it whatsoever. However, with the medium versions, that is a different matter. As you can see, if I do this. Yeah, the reason I recommend light medium and not like medium is because it has a wind back to it. I think I saw somewhere that apparently the medium version has like some invincibility frames or something. I could be confusing that with like base Goku's like Corsical forward back series with the elbow. I don't know, maybe I'm mistaken that, but I would just use this because it's a lot simpler. So basically, this is extremely weird. You'd probably get much more use out of this with like Kid Boo's assist or something. Yeah, so essentially if your opponent tries to press buttons out of this, you can at any point pressure with either just stopping early in order to beat reflect, or you can at any point also like, you can just end a series as well. So you know, you do have options to kind of play this, but essentially if your opponent does not reflect this by some miracle, if you're able to lock him down or something, you can set up this very fast instant overhead air setup. The fastest I'm able to get this, or the best I can possibly do, is like maybe one overhead into one low. That's why I don't put too much stock into this, but it is a thing. It is something you can mess with your opponent. So, it is there. But yeah, again, very hard, not a lot of reward. It's there. Okay, there we go. I managed to get one overhead to one low. That was harder than it should have been. Okay, let's talk about the fucking big boy. Corsical forward special 236S. This move is goddamn ridiculous. So, this is like probably where most of your mix-ups are going to come from with Gogeta. Oh boy, this is going to get a little bit nebulous. So, I'm going to list every variant of what you can do in every position on the screen, essentially, and what you can do with them. So, let's just go ahead and rapid fire this bitch. So, regular beam, no input. This move jails, -5, gets sliding knockdown on hit. If you need a visual about that, then let's go ahead and do it. Sliding knockdown, so that's kind of cool. It's a quick flop, it doesn't give you anything extended, but you can go into super off of this, so it's really nice. I think with the assist, you might be able to extend this. Maybe. If you do it in advance, you might be able to pull this off. Yeah, it's an option, I guess. Yeah, it's a little fast. I want to rely on that too much. Rear beam. So, okay. First of all, this version I'm going to call regular beam. This version is going to be a rear beam. This version is going to be top beam. Just so we're all clear about that. Okay, so rear beam, no inputs, catches jumpers. Better as a neutral tool, in my opinion. It's also like his easiest option to off of super dash for a follow-up combo. Top beam, no inputs, can be used to snipe 2H or backdash. Because of, you know, the top reach, it's there. It could potentially catch backdash. I've not labbed this, but with the range, it's possible. But yeah, this is essentially used to snipe like 2Hs and stuff. But considering the awkward angle, you're probably going to want to do this more like over here, you know, stuff like that. This does catch 2Hs, by the way. And now the feint, I'm going to call them feints. Ground feint with assist can cancel into low 2L, DR, cross up attempts, instant air dash attempts. I can get it to low. You can go into instant overhead. You can go into Dragon Rush. It can go into Jab Dragon Rush. If you're a bold one, you can also go for instant overhead air dashes. Yeah, sky's really the limit with this one. You can do instant air dashes over your opponent to cross up, but it's kind of tricky. So I would more relegate that more to the rear version. Speaking of rear beam feints, whatever. Immediate access to instant air dash options. Needs an assist to dissuade 2H attempts and can go for cross-ups. So for example, oops, that's not it. You gotta hold back in order to do it. You get access to pretty much all of your instant air dash options. However, it is very susceptible to being hit by 2H. That said, though, I did find this really stupid thing. Bear with me on this one. I found counterplay against the counterplay. Hang on. Okay, bear with me. This is gonna get stupid. If your opponent whiffs their 2H punish because you feint the this, you can go for a whiff punish with fucking air heavy. This is weird. This gets into some nebulous shit. I don't know why you would ever expect to do this, but hey, it is an option, I guess. Okay, sure. And this really weird one, the top beam feint can go for the easiest cross-ups you've ever seen in your life. Holy crap, let me have them stop twitching for a second. Oh, I crossed up. Oh, that didn't cross up. Oh, that crossed up. Oh, I can just come in and do whatever. Oh, you have your opponent's brain already had to expend the energy to anticipate that you're gonna not Dragon Rush. Oh, boom, Dragon Rush right there. You can do some. The top version is easily the silliest one, and I love it the most. My other personal favorite, just for me personally, is the regular beam feints, because of the fact that you can just you can make your opponent panic, and you can also just immediately steal back your opponent your turn. It's very similar to like Trunks with Change the Future, and how you can use it to steal turns back. So that's really nice. If you anticipate it for some bizarre reason, you can also punish 2H attempts using the ground beam feint with like 5M or something like that, depending on your opponent's 2H range. Apparently Broly's 2H is fucking huge with the super version, so details on that one. But yeah, obviously the top version is the one that is like the golden boy for the amount of options you can get for mix-ups, but it's the one that needs the lockdown assist the most, assuming you don't keep getting your mix-up attempt on. But yeah, this one is easily the most 2H susceptible, so keep in mind as you mess with them, I guess. And of course, corner pressure is pretty much all the same, but the only real difference is that the top beam, it doesn't steal corners. I know, I am just as sad as you are. However, that being said, you also get the easiest high-low mix-ups with this one, because it's super easy to time. If you don't suck dick at this game, it's easy to time. Absolutely, you can like three overheads with the jump medium, go for 2 overheads with the jump light. You have the easiest flexibility with this one if you want to go for the high-low mix-ups. So that's a small little point. I feel like I should mention that. Okay, so let's just go ahead and go over some stagger pressure really fast. 5L, obviously, as mentioned, -3 6-frame startup. This is obviously your easiest option to continuously reset pressure with in order to make your opponent flinch. So that's really good. 2L is -5 up close, but it can be as low as -1 from like max tip range. That's -3, -2, and go a little far back. That one, wow! I didn't know it could be 0. Okay, well obviously this one's variable frame data with like progression of hitboxes and everything like that, so it's whatever. But it can be as low as 0. That's good. I didn't even know it could be 0. Holy shit, that's pretty nice. 5LL is unfortunately -10, so you gotta really commit to this one. If you want to keep resetting your pressure, like obviously your opponent's probably gonna let you keep resetting because of the threat of this shit, obviously the huge amount of TODs that Gogeta can do. Yeah, obviously they'll probably let you just keep getting away with this. Or, they can also keep letting you reset jab pressure because out of threat of this. Oops. You know, TOD is easy if even I can do it, so yeah, at the risk of that potentially happening, your opponent's probably gonna let you keep getting away with this shit. The full auto combo is only -5, but it does lose pressure completely, unless you do the dumb bullshit I mentioned earlier, in which case, it's fine. Another thing I do want to mention, however, is that Core Circle Forward Light, you know, the basic light version of Soul Strike, this is only -5. However, it does create a little bit of pushback, just a little bit, so that way if your opponent does whiff something, if they try going for something, you can theoretically backdash into 2M. In theory, like I would not put stock on this, but you can maybe get away with it, or maybe up closing in, like just low profile a jab, maybe. I don't know, it's possible. Alright, it's time to talk about Gogeta's assists, now that we have spent an actual half hour on his pressure alone. This is going great, Bob. So, this is essentially between his A assist, B assist, and C assist, right? I'm going to cover each one in detail as far as I've seen. The pros and cons, what you want to go with, and we'll see what we can do. So, first of all, we're going to make Gohan perpetually level 1 for this one, because this whole team is structured assuming that I have DHC'd Gogeta into Gohan in order to get his level 1 already up off the ground. So let me just go ahead and find where the hell that setting is. There it is. Potential level 1. Also, it's easier to combo with Gohan on level 1 than 0, so, you know, details. So, Gogeta's A assist. First of all, let's go ahead and get him to block. He is already blocking, good. Plus 29 on block. That's a couple of frames shy of being a true beam assist, but this does have some really neat caveats. First of all, it causes the full wall splat, wall bounce. Actually, no, this is a pure wall bounce, because as opposed to like hit like a traditional like wall bounce combo, this is the giant wall bounce that was introduced with Gogeta, and it used far more with Super Broly, which I don't remember what that move was that does that, but he does have it, so you know, details. Anyway, this gives you a really good hit confirm. Now obviously this is also best with these in 3.5, so that way it goes full screen. I've already shown the video going over the various adjustments with Vegeta. This completely smokes Vegeta's B assist. This is completely full screen. You can go take a shit and come back and still have enough time to confirm into this. And the other cool thing about this move is that it's also the same startup as the beam. So for example, 29 frames, attack startup is 34, attack startup is 34 between the two of them. I want Trunks' beam data is roughly the same as like every other Kamehameha in the game for their assist. The big difference being is I think he has like one more frame of block if blocks on than a usual beam, so that's really nice. So that's something you want to keep in mind. That's really good. It's essentially a couple frames shy across the board of being an actual beam, but with way more combo utility. So yeah, the combo, the wall bounce makes the combos really fucking easy, because this gives you how many frames of advantage? 75 plus tech roll. Yeah, it's not too bad. The only tricky thing, however, is since that it is a wall mount and your opponent isn't left on the ground in front of you, it can be a little finicky trying to get the combo extensions. So you want to kind of mess around with this. Granted, I got this because I knew about this in advance, but one little trick I do have for you is that if you do 6M into it, your opponent is always kept at the same exact altitude. So that is really good. That is a nice little quality of life buff right there. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. If you want to use a combo off of this, I would say probably you want to go like stand medium into your combo of choice and prove that this isn't full of shit, because this I'm using Gohan because, well, lol Gohan. Here's Trunks getting the same exact combo. Yeah. And level 3 for good measure, because why not? It's a very good level 3. For my money, I'm going to say that Gogeta's A assist is bar none his best assist. You can make arguments going one way or the other if you think that is the case or not. I personally think it is because it is such a good balance of block stun, neutral utility, combo situations, you know, etc. I think it's just the best. I would use this in all situations, honestly, except for a couple where you think maybe the C assist is going to work. Okay, so as for Gogeta's B assist, it is his light DP. I don't know why it's a light one, where it could have been something cool like the B version, but or the medium version, you know what I mean. But whatever, it's fine. No, it's not. So it's a light DP, starts in front of your character. I'm not sure how important that is for you, but it's whatever. It does have some invincibility on it. I think it carries the light version's same head and vulnerability, so this can be light moves and super dashes. I think it's fine. This is in no way shaped the UI's A assist, but you know, whatever. I'm gonna be honest and say I don't like this B assist whatsoever. It's super limited. Let me go ahead and show its frame data on block first and foremost. 19 frame startup, good, but only blocks frames for, it only gives you 26 frames of advantage, which is not really substantial, honestly. Like, that's probably more than Change the Future, honestly, but 14? Okay, that's piddly. But, yeah, I would not use this move in a lot of situations. On top of that, like, even though this is a DP move, it's not really the best at trying to get, like, DP extent, like, combo extensions with your regular, like, your point character. Let me go ahead and try to showcase this with Gohan. Yeah, I'm also noticing in general that, like, Gogeta's B assist just knocks the opponent up way too high, and that's a really weird problem. For example, like, I'm trying to get this basic combo down, but, like, if I go too early, he's launched too high ahead of Gohan. If I go too late, then, like, I'm already putting it down the floor. Holy shit, I can't even get this to work. Yeah, that's a really weird problem to have. Let me try Trunks, actually. Let me try this out. Yeah. I mean, I've already labbed this before by myself, obviously, to test for the guide, but I didn't realize just how... I forgot just how limited this actually is. It doesn't advance far forward enough to really be good mid-screen, and it launches them too high upwards to really be good outside, like, super dash combos. Oh, man. That's a weird problem to have. Like, this works off of 6M, I guess, but I don't know. That's weird. If this ends up having some utility for certain corner combos, then I take back some of my opinions, but unless this works for like some weird ass Zamasu Blaze Adjustment combos in a corner, I don't think that will be the case. So yeah, I'm gonna say this one's kind of crap. And now let's cover his C assist. I usually have a fairly low opinion of C assist. I'm going to be completely honest about that, except for a few good C assists. But Gogeta, for my money, does have a pretty good C assist. It's one of the few that actually has a very good vertical tracking. For example, off of that, oh, alright, aim and smash, that's no big deal. That was bad. But yeah, that's not too bad. This shares the same properties with like Vegeto's C assist. Kind of same properties with like Gotank's A and Janemba A, where they will track pretty much vertically like forever. So that's really sick. Yeah, honestly, like his C assist is easily like one of the better ones in the game. Far cry from this fucking B assist, so that's really good. That being said, though, despite my solid opinion of his good C assist, I think his A assist is the better one across a lot of scenarios that you'll probably find yourself in, like if you want like simple combo extensions or stuff. I thought that worked, whatever. But yeah, that's generally my thoughts on it. It's fine, but you generally want to stick to the A assist because neutral, faster recharge, still a really good amount of hit stun anyway. Like, I just left my opponent, my jumping medium still comboed. Holy crap, look at that shit. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and theory craft around team synergy really fast. So this is going to involve Gogeta, like how he interacts with other teams and how he interacts with certain other assists. Like if he was throwing it back on some other, teams and stuff like that. So first of all, I believe that he is firmly wanting to either be point or mid. Point because he really wants to utilize assists, but he can also be mid because he's a good meter dump character, i.e. level 5 super is really good. He's got multiple level 1s. He's a really decent meter dump character. I don't think he's as good as, like, say, base Goku because of Spirit Bomb, but for a mid, he's not bad. I would definitely recommend running him mid. I personally use him behind Super Broly for like a couple months, and he's really fun in that regard because of the really easy assists you can get with him. But yeah, he's also just a good mid because, like I said, this assist is pretty good. Huge amount of advantage. Also, it's always giving you that wall bounce, by the way. That's not like a new buff. It's always been able to do that, so it's really fucking nice. Another reason why he wants to be ahead of other characters is because his DHCs leave him at like really good positions for your characters to get like super easy DHCs. And supers work well with each other. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so like what I mean by that is that I'm just gonna try to like DHC into Gohan, for example. I'm almost trying to get him mid there. So like I can do his level 1, go for an animation, let it rock, DHC into Gohan, and that works. So that's really good. I can also do like level 2. I can go for that, so that's really nice. What I'm trying to say is that all of these will pretty much work with each other, so that's really good. This especially is really good. Yeah. Pretty much like you'll seldom find yourself in a position where like you'll DHC out and you'll have like something miss. Like if I can get something like even more exact, like fucking Trunks' level 1, for example, which has a pretty tiny hitbox, all things considered. Like if you were to DHC into it, you're never really gonna miss this ever. So that's really good. No, like seriously, this move has like a tiny fucking hitbox. Look at that. Jesus. I know it might still seem kind of decently big, but consider the fact that you want to hit that in a lot of situations. Yeah, it's kind of rough. For assists, I would recommend the following: Kid Buu A, Yamcha A, Kefl B, Gohan B, Bardock B. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah. Anything that gives him a substantial amount of block stun and advantage. The reason being is because obviously so he can mix up better. So that way, this is more of a real combo. Or not real combo, real block, real mix-up. So that way, you don't get smoked, and because remember, like by itself, your opponent can do like anything out of this. They can level 3, they can reflect, they can they can jab out of it, they can backdash, whatever, super dash through it. The presence of the lockdown assist will obviously keep them in place. So they can't at least 2H. It'd be hard for them to reflect. They can't level 3 usually, and it can't like move around. So that would help immensely. Theoretically, anything with a beam assist, block stun, or higher should theoretically work well for him, but details. Now, another big thing about Gogeta is that this is kind of a slept-on thing, but his Big Bang Kamehameha, I haven't really talked about this yet. This move is actually pretty good. Like, I would almost have actually put this in like his core moves, honestly. The reason being is because it is a very long-hitting move. Like, this keeps them actually pinned down for a while. Now, one of my personal big strategies with this team is to, I got this from a friend too, is to DHC into, that wasn't going to work because I need to hit off of it, is to combo into it. So that way I can do this, jump, bunny hop with Gohan, and then I'm able to DHC with Gohan, immediately start level 1, and start with pressure. To put that in better perspective, do this. Okay, so now Gohan immediately tags in. He's level 1, so he's immediately actually a dangerous character. And he's immediately got a free high-low mix-up. So That is really good. If I didn't land that, if I actually landed that, would have been nice. Another character he works really well using Big Bang Commandment is Base Goku. I think you can kind of see why. Idea is to gain as much altitude as possible. If I don't screw up the combo, let's do a slight altitude combo just to make sure I'm high enough that this lands. There we go. This should land. Big Bang will keep him pinned down long enough, and at the end of it has an upward knockaway. So that will definitely put them in a position to be hit by Big Bang Commandment. Spirit Bomb, that's what I meant. To just a lot easier. They go up a little, they hover up a little bit, or it has a lot of hit stun. So on, you know. It's really handy for Spirit Bomb combos. And of course, this will work with a lot of other DHC moves, like if I were to actually go back to Trunks and showcase it with him, I could probably have him do a Burning Attack and then go into a Dragon Rush. Theoretically, let's try that. I mean, that does work. I'm trying to get the low angle version to trying to get a low altitude juggle off of this with a DR. I mean, that works too. That's going to be scaled heavily, but it'll still do a good amount of damage. Oh, geez, this is like 500 damage. Oh, boy. But yeah, that does theoretically work because of the advantage it gives you. If you have a character that has a fast DHC move, or, yeah, fast, like, incoming level 1 move, then this should work theoretically. But yeah, that just works with a lot of characters. Gogeta benefits decently from having beam assist behind him, but he doesn't really need them per se. Because obviously, you know, 1 beam, 2 beams, 3 beams, 4 beams, 7 beams. You know what I mean. You want to count this. Potentially 8 beams because it does beat Super Dash, I'm pretty damn sure. You know, details. Yeah, he's got options for damn sure. As well as the fact that just this in general's existence, he doesn't really need neutral too much, but it does help a little bit. Every character kind of benefits from, you know, beams to a certain capacity, but Gogeta benefits way more from lockdown. Yeah, as I've already shown multiple times thanks to his gimmick, block, pin down stuff. And of course, I also like to mention that, you know, he gains almost nothing from fucking DP assists. Yeah, the reason being is because naturally, if you've seen before, this is the reason why I said he doesn't really play well with combo assists. Unless you use like C assists, I guess, if you want to be like, if you want to burn resources. But like Gohan immediately doesn't have good options off of this. I mean, there's this old option, I guess, Super Dash into Gohan assist, so it locks him down, I suppose. But like the only way I could potentially conceive of that you can maybe get something off of mid-screen combo would be like this. But yeah, he doesn't really get anything off of it anyway. Okay, it's time for the big reason probably a lot of you are here. I kept it for last because I had to go do everything first, and honestly, this is not going to be too impressive anyway. Combos. Oh boy, combos with Gogeta. First of all, I'm going to say that because of Season 3.5, there probably are way more optimal combos out there at this point in time. If you want to burn time into doing them, you absolutely can. Personally speaking, I think what I'm doing right now is decent, but if I want to take it a little bit higher with Gogeta, I mean, it's not really a character I go for execution, but if you want to research Clayton combos, you absolutely can. To give context, Clayton Chapman is one of the best combo makers for Dragon Ball FighterZ out there, period. That man does insane things for certain characters to come out, so if you want to do the big boy stuff, go to his channel, I guess, as well as fighting game drama. Okay, so basic bread and butter combo with him. You've seen this a million times already. I didn't look at the screen, it was so easy. But yeah, that's the bread and butter combo. The things that kind of suck about this though, it can be done literally anywhere. It does okay damage, but if there's no wall, you get no Oki whatsoever. The knockdown you get off of this is kind of soft. Let me actually get this to land. Yeah, it's a very fast, like, knock to the ground, but it can tech it very quickly. There's no time to really even do supers. You can kind of time this one, though, Starfall. If you do it fast enough, you can get this to work. But this is already kind of dubious, so I don't know. But yeah, you can't land your ground supers whatsoever. So you can't just do this into level 3. Unfortunately, you have to go with Starfall as your level 1 ender. And if you want to do this but less oaky, or rather more oaky but less damage, you do this. At 3780, but you do get them down to the ground, which is really nice. I guess to illustrate this first and foremost. Land and try to do level 1 super. No dice. However, do this. Do it literally as fast as it possibly. I didn't know how it works now. Okay. Okay, but to be absolutely fair, that is very fast. You probably shouldn't use that as a staple. Yeah, that's extremely fast. I don't think that will work usually. Yeah, you delay that whatsoever, and that's not working. So I don't know if I would consider that a revelation per se. Oh god, you gotta pretty much do that even before you land to the ground. Okay, addendum, you can do a level 1 super on the ground after that, but it's really fucking hard. And now for the optimal wall ender, gonna have text on the top of the screen for the notations. Okay, so that's generally your most damaging wall ender, unless you start getting into hard frame specific inputs. Now, the medium version of Soul Strike will actually give you a ground bounce, so you can go into a level 1 supers on the ground, so that's really easy. This also gives you another really neat advantage. You can also do this. And this is kind of neat, because this allows you... The ground bounce is big enough that you can pretty much do whatever assist you want there, and have enough time to do DR afterwards, go into the medium version of this again, and go into whatever level 1 super you want out of the air. Or, yeah, you can go onto the Big Bang, you can go to Starfall, DH into a level 3 or something like that. You have options to play with. He is way better at the wall than he is in open field, that's for damn sure. If you're at higher hit stun decay, like for example if I were to do like this combo, yeah, at that point, the beam you do at the end of it before you go for the Soul Strike will not connect. So what you want to do instead, you want to forego a couple of hits at the end. It's not that big a deal. You want to go Soul Strike light, medium, medium. That way you have the speed of the light version coming out instead of the medium version, which is a little more specific because it hits stun decay, and that way you're able to get a decent combo. I guess I didn't really mention that in my notes. Yeah, if you start mid-screen, this will pretty much be your better bread and butter combo because it takes you right to the corner. Gogeta is really good at wall travel. I think I've already mentioned that before. Like, I think an hour ago at this point. Not sure why I went for Big Bang. Nothing in combo from then off of that. Alright. Or at least on my team from up there. Oh well. But yeah, the wall series lets you end in pretty much whatever super you want. That's really nice. Alright, so other combo situations. If you get the side switch DP and it was used at the wall, you get a certain other combo. Let me actually go ahead and showcase that. There we go. I had to decide from my notes for a second. I was like, wait, what am I talking about? Okay. But yeah, if you end up with your back to the corner and you have the meter for it, then you can absolutely burn it to do a burn butter at the wall. But it's tricky because you have to delay the air heavy. That is a little harder to do than you might think. This comes with practice. Also, if you have higher hits on the K, same rules apply. Yeah, if you do the heavy DP when you're back to the corner, you get that combo. And then you can DHC out into whatever you want. You can probably get higher than this, but this is a good start. There's combo. Everyone needs this. You do this if you just want straight damage, or you can go into... That's not it. Or use this version for pressure. Or go into supers on the ground, whatever you want. Super dash. Pretty much when you do that, you want to do the 2 lights, then jump cancel 3 lights, and then you want to do the rear beam out of quarter circle forward special. And it gives you pressure, so that's super nice. Doesn't really do damage. If you want to do damage off of this, then you're going to be doing this. Something like that, I guess. Yeah, that's a little bit more. I'm not sure if I would say it's worth the meter, but hey, it's something. And if you accidentally mash out the auto combo because internet's kicking in with your opponent, there you go. Or, you know, same rules apply for the basic one. Now, if you're doing the this shit, you have a couple of options. You can go for jump medium. This is a little inconsistent. You can land standing medium, but it's very hard. Like, I'm not sure if this is even really worth it, honestly. Like, this is a very close to frame perfect input. I'm not gonna lie. Like, do it too early, do it too late. Yeah, honestly, you can try for it. But I think in most scenarios you're gonna want to go for your standard ender. Okay, and just a couple of easy notes about these combos I'm just tossing out. If you end with the heavy version of Soul Strike instead, you're put in position for easy Starfall. Let me go ahead and showcase that actually. Like, you're put in this position. Now, you're airborne right now, so you can easily do this. But still miss, what the hell. There we go. You gotta do it way closer. That was my bad. But yeah, this puts you in a very easy position to land at. 5K mid screen. Got burn a bar and a half though for the heavy version into that, but it's something, I guess. But you do already gain like a full meter off the combo for it already, so it kind of you only lose like net value half a bar for that. So yeah, it's okay, I guess. Oh, and if you end up in sparking while you're at the corner, you get some additional nice damage off of this, by the way, because you can jump cancel that shit. So that's pretty nice. You can jump cancel this shit. And just to showcase this easy as hell TOD, because if I can do it, you can do it too. Literally, I am terrible at TODs in this game. I can only ever do a handful because I'm garbage. Okay, and now this essentially goes into the level 5. This is not with like any boost or anything. This is literally just under sparking at the corner. He can just do it this easily. And you've already seen this before. This does end up in the death combo. Okay, so a couple of notes about this. There's two really hard parts about this combo. The first is the vanish, popping vanish, pop spark, and then run underneath your opponent. That might seem actually kind of hard, but this can be a little finicky at times because, like, you might mash forward too early and you don't get it, or you might mess something up and you end up too far away from your opponent. It can be a little finicky if you're not fully careful about this. But yeah, the idea is to run just underneath the opponent that this lands, 2M, 5-8, and then you can go into the rest. I'll put us in the situation for the next hard part. Now this isn't really hard, but the trick to doing this is that you have to do the tiniest jump cancels off of the first special on the ground into the air kick, into Kamehameha, downward Galagun, and then off of the downward Galagun, you have to immediately jump cancel that into the next heavy. So for example, I should be on the next rep right now. Yeah, there we go. And then you super dash, you immediately go into one rep of light, no heavy kick at the end, go right into this. Now here's the hard part actually. Timing vanished when you get away from the wall, because if you do it too soon, your opponent's going to fly over you and your Dragon Rush is going to miss. Do too late and you're going to be too far away from the corner. So this is kind of the rough spot you want to be at. I still dropped it anyway because I suck. It's okay to master, like, not gonna lie. Oh, still landed, nice. And then you basically just hold down the special button until it goes all the way through. 9124, that's death range. Yeah. Also, you want to jump cancel upwards and not forwards when you're going for the rainstorm of beams in the corners. So that's a general small thing I think is not hard, but it's a little trick I did learn. Yeah, this really wouldn't be a Dragonball FighterZ video unless I did end on a fucking TOD. That's just the nature of this game. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Merry Christmas to all. Hope you guys give some people hell with Gogeta. Again, in my firm opinion, he is a good character, but he is not even close to top 15. No, not really. He's not bottom 10. I think I would say he's consistently like, he's better than Hit, obviously. Probably better than 18, not as good as Cell. He's like definitely like right in like the lower middle of this game's tier list. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, and give people some hell and send my regards.